and we are here in week number 3 for Dirtman versus the CTO Mamox, sending them the all clear. We have rosters, we have the dirt cam, we are good to go.
Oh my god, what an exciting match here. We got the dirt cam side by side with the action.
Dirtman is looking pretty good tonight. Something's going on below the belt, but I think he's ready to go.
We actually tested Dirtman, and from what we hear, this is all natural. That's what he says, his doctors say. All natural, baby.
Dirtman, did you challenge the CTO? Are you ready to go?
I believe he's considering his lead right now. That's his brain activating inside of his chest.
I think that I messaged the wrong person, but the all set is now actually out there, and we can go ahead and get the match going.
Dirtman's furious, but he's ready to go now. Yeah, he's jamming.
So if we look here, we got a lead on Dominican Luigi and Jirachi, both Pokemon that could legitimately be a good lead situation. You can see Dominican Luigi kicking off with the Sucker Punch, which on a Pokemon like Jirachi, he's trying to get the speed win and then start iron heading.
But the Paralyze already getting value out of it.
Yeah, he's getting the Sucker Punch there, and Jirachi gets the Citrus Berry, healing a quarter. With 60% HP, it can survive another Sucker Punch.
Dirtman showing that he's definitely willing to just keep clicking the Sucker Punch. I believe Dominican Luigi is banded, so the only other option being a swap.
Yeah, I think Mamox is probably just going to hard swap here. Yeah. And he swaps to the Breloom. The Sucker Punch obviously won't work on the swap, but with the paralysis there and looking at Dirtman's team, I don't see a heal bell. So unless this Dominican Luigi has it, which is unlikely on a band. Oh, the natural cure! I forgot. So he swaps out, gets the cleanse, and swaps into the Arcanine, which is gonna be nice with the Intimidate.
Oh, and no, says Dirtman. Threaten him out with typing and the Intimidate, just big. Into the Swampert, but Dirtman...
And Dirtman, look at the screen, Dirtman, because he needs to focus on the match and less dancing. The Wild Charge and Close Combat are not good options against Swampert, so we'll see what happens.
No, this boy thick, and now he is charging up.
Let's see what Dirtman does here. I really think he needs to swap out and get something else going. He does swap to the Dusclops, which will be better. However, it'll stop the power-up punch, but it won't stop a Waterfall or an Earthquake. And Dusclops itself is not really going to threaten Swampert that much. So, interestingly, maybe we'll see something like... Oh, he's packing Shadow Ball here. So instead of running Nightshade, he decided to run with the Shadow Ball. And
I believe this is a different build of Dusclops. Otherwise, I would say that it could easily threaten the Swampert with the burn. But this appears to be a setup Dusclops. He's got the Calm Mind going off now. Dirtman says, uh-oh, you weren't expecting this, Mamo-chan.
And interestingly enough, though, if you look back on some of Mamox's previous matches, his Umbreon has been built a little bit more defensively instead of specially defensively. So this Shadow Ball, while I don't think it's very effective against Dark, if he maxes out, it will be pretty powerful. And and there's a Dark Pulse, also not going to be very good against Umbreon, and your Dusclops is really slow, so you're not outspeeding anyone for the flinch.
Yeah, but I like to see what Dirtman's doing. He definitely stopped, took a second, and focused after seeing that. His Kung Fu has come to a halt, and his focus is at a maximum. Let's see if this Arcanine can pull it out.
Oh, and there goes the Close Combat. I like that ability. It's a good move there, and it'll give him an opportunity to maybe try to get this Jirachi here because, you know, depending on the speed tie and depending on the EVs here, this Arcanine could Flare Blitz and just kill this Jirachi.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to go for it now. The rocks aren't going to let it come back in, but the Umbreon coming in to tank the hit. Smart play
Yeah,
by Mamox.
definitely a smart play. Umbreon, as we mentioned, is probably physically defensive. It's carrying a Rocky helmet. But there goes the Venusaur, and he presses Sludge Bomb. He maybe could have gotten like a seed or something off there, but the Sludge Bomb's okay. He has the Wish, so he's going to go ahead and try to heal his Umbreon.
Yeah, Dirtman staying very aggressive with his Venusaur. I agree. I would very much like to see a Leech Seed, some form of just pressure. There it goes.
Yeah, there is the Leech Seed. The Venusaur is running more of a Protect build rather than the sub build, so it's not going to protect him. But Umbreon can't do a thing against this Venusaur, as Toxic will not affect it.
Yeah, but the Venusaur just doesn't have anything to really gain that value off it. The swap into Donovan, I agree with it, but I would have done it during one of the Protect turns. Try and take advantage there and get your hits in while you can.
Well, I think he's expecting a swap and get a Rapid Spin off maybe. But he did get Rocks out, which I think is a really big win there for Jamil and Dirtman.
Oh, and a big mistake by Mamox trying to paralyze. It's a ground Pokemon. It's immune to those electric attacks.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times from different players, and it's one of the misnomers. Not only are they immune to the damage, but they're immune to status effects like Thunder Wave through electric moves as well.
And Jamil staying aggressive, not rapid spinning, getting the Earthquake on. Great damage on the Pinsir swapping in. But now with its flying type.
Pressing knockoff there, it's not necessarily what you want. We'll see if Mamox goes for the quick attack. I don't know if it will kill, so he may just press return again, and he does. I probably, you probably had an opportunity to swap there if you wanted to save your Donovan. But, it's really tough here for Mamox, or for Dirtman so far, but I think he needs to start getting his Slowbro in the action, especially against all these physical Pokemon that Mamox has.
Yeah, the Pinsir already being low. The chip damage off the Slowbro with this Rocky Helm would be massive. The Dusclops going with Rest.
So no Pain Split on the Dusclops. We got a Rest, and no Berry there either. Probably got the Eviolite. And we see Mamox get a Sword Stance off, but I think this is finally the right swap for Dirtman.
Yeah, great opportunity to get that Sword Stance off. Good play by Mamox seeing it there, but also good job by Dirtman noticing that he cannot allow the Pinsir to sit in unchecked. Boom, that return hits hard, but Pinsir going down in return. Dirtman still has a big uphill battle, though. 5 Pokemon of Mamox is remaining.
But as you know, Regenerator is one of Slowbro's strongest abilities, so we're going to see it swap out there and, heal back up. And, really, honestly, good prediction there by Dirtman. Power-Up Punch not doing anything against a Psychic Pokemon like Dominican Luigi.
Yeah, and threatening out with the Grass typing. It's low, but it's here to deal some damage.
Oh my goodness! Dominican Luigi with the Seed Bomb absolutely destroys the Alakazam. And that is the reason why a Focus Sash is sometimes preferred to a Life Orb on Alakazam.
We have seen Dirtman do amazing things with this Dominican Luigi. It's low health, but its Kung Fu is strong. But, switching it out.
And I love the swap there by Dirtman. He's got to get Regenerator going on Slowbro every single turn. So he didn't swap it there. He decided to leave it in instead of swapping to the Venusaur, which I think would have been the right move.
His team is low, and he has a sleeping Dusclops. I don't know. I think you got to try and get your last bit of value out of the Dominican Luigi at that point.
Because it's banded, it's not carrying those more utility moves that might have been able to, help get its Dusclops off the ground or heal some HP.
Definitely, definitely. But this Breloom taking advantage of the sleeping Dusclops yet again. Mamox having a couple Swords Dancers on his team. He's threatening the setups here.
Definitely. And I think he's just ready to move on to the next round here. And there's a Calm Mind on the Dusclops, but I don't think it's going to matter. The Breloom will be able to just kill it pretty easily. Yep. This is probably going to be a short rest of the match here. I mean, you've got Venusaur, which again he was at 100%. That's why I think if you had the Slowbro alive, you had a really nice combo there of the Swip Swap with Slowbro and Venusaur.
And there another mistake going in for Leech Seed against a grass Pokemon with their immunity.
And that is one of the big changes. And same with Mamox. That is one of the big changes in Gen 6 is grass Pokemon are immune to powder-like moves, Spore, as well as Seeds. There's the 11% damage left from the stones. Here comes Venusaur, and this is probably going to spell the end for Game 1.
A crit to finish it out. Dirtman not loving it right now. Let's see how he adjusts.
And I really did like the strategy there from both players. I think there were a few mistakes, but in general, pretty good. We had, I think, some really interesting plays there, and now that both players know what the others are kind of doing with their Pokemon, I think we could see a really great Game 2.
Definitely agree there.
Sending them the all clear. I'm going to go ahead and swap the views. And we will get going here. All right. So instead of the other leads, we see a sneaky pincer and a Donovan McNabb. So Donovan McNabb is the one that had Earthquake and the Rocks, whereas Mamox deciding to do an immediate swap to Jirachi, which we saw last time the Thunder Wave not being effective. And there is a triple swap into the Umbreon. So we now have 3 Pokemon in 3 turns for Mamox. And there's the Earthquake. Lucky for Mamox that Umbreon survived that. A better roll and it would have just died.
Yeah, honestly, I'm fine with that start. Donovan versus Pincer. Let him set up the rocks. I'm going to get a Mega Evolution Sword Stance.
Agreed. I think that Mamox was afraid of something. I don't know what, but Dirtman is definitely ahead here to start off. And if you're Dirtman, you're now set up because you can now freely swap to the Dusclops. You have that available. You also have the Slowbro available. You need to get this Donovan out. I think that Dirtman is just continuing to just get value here. But to me, like you don't just let this go. Like you had the advantage, get it out of there. Okay, and there it is.
Getting the knockoff on the Swampert, removing its ability to heal, though. Definitely a good play.
It could be, and it could come up really big, but you lost over 60% HP on your Donovan for that knockoff. So there's the swap to Jirachi, and this is the move where we could see a Thunder Wave onto the Venusaur. There it is, and while I don't think it's a bad move, because you did get a stop there, you already had the Speed Wind. Did you really need to do that? Why are you not just pressing Iron Head there is weird to me, but, you definitely didn't need to paralyze to get the faster speed.
Dirtman just making mistakes with the poison moves against the steel Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe he was expecting Mamox to swap there, or, like you said, he just didn't realize Jirachi was steel.
But Bulbasaur is thick.
Yes, yeah, this Venusaur is quite big, and with the Leech Seed in place and rocks, I think Mammox is probably going to pull it. Yeah, and there's the pull to the Umbreon. This is a big turn here, and Dirtman maybe predicting swaps to a Pokemon that can threaten the Umbreon. We're going to see a Protect here, if I had to guess, for Mammox, because you either swap or you scout with the Protect, because I don't think Umbreon can take a Stab Flare Blitz at 43%. Oh my god, he swaps to a Grass Pokemon, which is really crazy. Dirtman, if he had probably pressed Flare Blitz, he would have got him, but remember, he has Extreme Speed, and there is the Extreme Speed being faster than Mach Punch and taking down the Breloom.
Dirtman loving it. Flexing his brain muscles, getting going.
Another situation here where Arcanine can just kill this Pinsir with a single Flare Blitz. I think Mammox is, I wouldn't say tilting, but he's definitely in trouble here. And there is the Flare Blitz just killing the Pinsir. I don't think he has been thinking about the speed implications here. And finally, he swaps to the Alakazam, where he knows he has that speed win.
Oh, and Dirtman not realizing it. Easily could have shot off the Extreme Speed to get the chip damage. Go with Dominican Luigi, who wiped out the Alakazam before.
Yeah, last time we saw that Seed Bomb come out of nowhere and one-shot this Alakazam. Really crazy.
Oh, the Sucker Punch!
And there is the Sucker Punch. Dark move on the Psychic. It's huge here. And Swampert, remember, with no leftovers on that knockoff, turning out to be huge here, I think, like you said.
Dominican Luigi is able to spam the Sucker Punch to kind of clean up the rest of this team a bit.
And even then, though, this Dominican Luigi is faster than Swampert. I think you don't press Sucker Punch here, because Mammox could just swap to the Umbreon.
But that's going to cause him to take a swap there.
And he used Sucker Punch again, and I think that Dirtman's biggest thing he needs to look at is your speed tiers here. He is winning a lot of these speed races, and he doesn't need to press Sucker Punch.
He's banded into it at this point, though. He's going to have to make a swap if he wants to switch off of it.
Mm-hmm. There's the swap to the Umbreon. He presses it again, and, it's not going to be good there, but the natural cure on the swap is good. Here comes the Slowbro. And remember, this Umbreon's only way to deal damage is Toxic, so the Venusaur would have been an excellent swap there. But the Scald gets the burn, and that at least gets something on this Umbreon.
Yeah, he's picking at him, but he's not breaking him.
Yeah, I don't think he's figured out that the Umbreon really doesn't do anything unless you give it Pokemon that it's good against. Venusaur just completely walls this Umbreon.
Either that or just swap right back into the Dominican Luigi, saying, I'm just going to mash U-turn.
Mm-hmm. This is a situation where Umbreon is literally just sitting here doing nothing, and the right swap really gets Dirtman out of it. There is the swap to Celebi, and another wish, so we'll probably see a Protect here. Even if he protects, I think it's good on the U-turn, and there is the U-turn, so he's not pressing Protect, probably pressing Toxic, and if he swaps to Venusaur, it's perfect, or the Slowbro. Either one works, and he misses with it. There is the wish that comes in, and, if you're Dirtman, this is all completely fine. Let Mamox go through his PP. He's not threatening you in a single way.
And Mamox just throwing out Toxics, trying to call the predicts on the swaps.
Even with predicting swaps, it doesn't matter. Dominican Luigi has Natural Cure. I think Mamox doesn't know what to do, and he's just trying to figure something out here. It's only a matter of time before he runs out of wishes, and this is over.
I mean, he's playing a risky game. A crit could easily take him out as well.
This is why, Umbreon can't be the centerpiece of your team. It's a great pivot. It's a great swap. And depending on, what you're packing with a heal bell, it can be a great cleric, but this is not its role. You got to get it in a good position to take advantage of with its typing and with the Rocky Helmet type effects.
Yeah, but when you're missing a good portion of your team, maybe that chip damage on Dominican Luigi is all you can really hope for.
Yeah, and swap into the Donovan here. This is one of those situations where, yet again, that Stab Earthquake's going to be pretty good because he's going to have a burn tick here, taking it to 49. And then if he goes for another Stab Earthquake, that burn could actually do the rest of the HP. So let's see if Mamox goes for the swap here. He doesn't. He goes for the Wish. There's the Stab Earthquake. The burn will kill. And just like I was kind of saying, Dirtman just kind of made the right swap, and, Umbreon wasn't really doing much there. So really great plays by Dirtman, just not just overcommitting into that Umbreon. And I think we're going to go to a game 3 here.
Yeah, Dirtman saying, no, no, no. We can exchange Earthquakes all day. I've got a full roster to exchange with.
And there is the Iron Head. Remember, as I was saying earlier, Jirachi doesn't necessarily need to need to Thunder Wave to get an Iron Head flinch hack going. Like, you can press it earlier. And this is another situation. You did not have to do that. And there is a Shadow Ball, and it takes it below 5%. You don't need to Thunder Wave if you already have the speed win. As you can see, he's getting great flinch hacks, and he could have had another turn of a flinch and be at that HP total he was at when he switched in.
Oh, but there's the paralysis saving him one there.
So remember, a paralysis will proc before... no, you're right. So that flinch, and there goes the Jirachi. The Dusclops surviving at 9% HP, but we are going to a game 3. This is a great match. Grudge match between cousins. Dirtman and the CTO Mamox.
Yeah,
And I will be
Let's
swapping the viewpoints and sending the all clear. Sorry, go ahead.
If Mamox cleans up his early game here, we could see a completely different game.
Yeah, I think Mamox really just got off on the wrong foot with that triple swap in 3 turns. It just didn't really work for him. And there's a Magic Coat from Jirachi, sending the Stealth Rocks back. He's been waiting to get that going on him, but there's the immunity again to the Thunder Wave. I don't know what Mamox is doing with that. He has thrown that out there too many times, maybe predicting the swap, but Donovan itself is the spinner, and there is the Earthquake killing the Jirachi. This is unbelievable by Dirtman.
What a good trick, and then all the momentum thrown away. Dirtman, with his mighty kung fu, just nunchucking through it. Let's see.
I cannot believe it. Mamox must be through the roof here because he had, like you said, a great play to send the Stealth Rocks back, but forgetting that a Rapid Spin was coming and then an Earthquake is super effective against your Steel Pokemon.
His hidden technique, his secret jutsu, no match for Donovan.
And there is the Spore putting asleep Donovan. And remember, Venusaur can stop that. So what are we going to see here? He just leaves the Donovan in on the sleep. This is really risky here. There's the Arcanine. I really like the swap. Intimidate's great. Bullet Seed is not going to do much, but it is going to hit a lot of times here, and it crit once. So this is really risky because the Mach Punch, if he didn't press Extreme Speed, and he didn't, Mamox is coming back here with this Breloom, a single Swords Dance, giving it a little bit of stopping power.
Yeah, the 1-2 combo. Really taking out 2 Pokemon with Donovan now just taking that nap.
And Dirtman is taking a dirt nap because Venusaur is the clear swap here, and he is just throwing out Pokemon that can't deal with this Breloom.
Yeah, that Bullet Seed avoiding contact being a gun type move.
And there is the Dominican Luigi, also a good Pokemon against this Breloom. I think we're going to maybe see a swap from Mamox because this Dominican Luigi would be very good here.
Yeah, and saving the Breloom for further spores in the future could be a good move. Also, the revenge killing potential with the priority Mach Punch.
There's the Pinsir. Zen Headbutt's pretty good against it. This is another scenario where if you're Mamox, you need to swap to Umbreon now if you know that he is Choice Banded. You have a free swap into Umbreon here. I wonder if he's on top of it. He is not, and he will lose the Pinsir immediately, not knowing that a Psychic move was banded in with the Dominican Luigi.
And Dirtman looking mighty on the dirt cam.
So now, if you look at Mamox's team, he sends the Breloom back out, which I don't like. I think that you had an opportunity here to swap to the Umbreon. I don't think he's on top of the fact that this thing is banded and locked into the headbutt.
There goes the Sash, keeping him at 1, getting the Mach Punch with the crit.
And this will take the Breloom down. I don't think Mamox is in a good position here, but Alakazam is a Pokemon that can get him back into this depending on the speed situation. Zen Headbutt is not a great move against Psychic Pokemon, as it's not very effective, but we know this Alakazam isn't Sash, so we'll see what he goes for here.
Switch into the Dusclops, taking a 42% off the Shadow Ball. Potentially could survive if that was a good roll. And does.
Really interesting there that we didn't see the Psychic from Mamox. A Stab Psychic would have been better than the ball, and we know that it is Life Orbed, not any sort of spec. So I think Mamox may have made a small misplay there. Turns out okay. Well, this Donovan McNabb, though, is still asleep. So this is risky for Dirtman because Alakazam is really good against Venusaur.
But Donovan, he ain't sleeping on the job. Wakes up, hits the knockoff, stopping the chip damage from the Umbreon, but the poison will eventually get it down. Dirtman getting his rocks back out.
Yeah, this is a really tough situation here for Dirtman. I think that Dusclops move was going to be really tough, and he gets back to his Venusaur, but depending on if Mamox is on top of this swap, he may swap to the Alakazam. If Dirtman predicts that and goes for the Sludge Bomb, however, there's the Leech Seed to try and force out this Umbreon here.
Yeah, I like that swap on the Protect. He's paying attention to it. There goes the Zam. There goes a Giga Drain, taking it out. That was the only thing left that could really threaten this Venusaur with Psychic attacks.
And he goes into the Swampert here. I mean, Dirtman played that perfectly there. Just read that Umbreon like a book. And Umbreon was the swap here, but again, he has Toxic only as his damaging move. So no way to hurt Venusaur. So Swampert is really his only option, but a single Giga Drain will one-tap this Swampert.
Dirtman working the nunchucks. Let's see it. Let's see if he does the poison move against the Swampert. No, he Leech Seeds, playing it safe.
Goes for the Leech Seed. The Earthquake, normal effectiveness because of the poison typing. And there's the Giga Drain taking down the Swampert as we thought. Now this is the scenario where Dirtman just needs to leave Venusaur here. This is your matchup.
I think he knows. Just throw out the Leech Seed and let it ride. Even if he loses all of his other Pokemon by swapping into him, he will end up at this matchup at some point.
And there's the forfeit from Mamox and ending the match. The CTO goes down to Dirtman. Dirtman with the huge win here. Unbelievable.
Cam, he is showing what he thinks of Mamox. He says, shame, shame, shame.
No.
What a bad game. Oh my god.
He
Dirtman,
got me, dude. He outplayed the
Go
shit out of
off.
me. I can't believe it.
Incredible match.